Hey guys, we are on Thursday of our Holy Week devotional series we've been going through. We've been talking about the last week that Jesus was here before he was crucified. So it started on Palm Sunday and we're going through Easter Sunday with this. But today is Thursday, so that's where we're at in this. This is the day where the Jewish people would celebrate Passover. So Jesus was about to celebrate Passover with his disciples because they were Jewish. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to be reading John 13, different pieces of it. But I would love if you have the time that you would just read this whole chapter, because I think there's a lot of really good stuff in there. But we're going to read little bits of it as we go through this. So I'm just going to jump right into it. John 13, verses 1 through, let's just do 1 through 5 right now. It says, "It was just before the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from his meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him." And then it's going to pick up. We're going to skip to verse 12. Again, try and read the verses in between this if you have time. It's good stuff. But starting in verse 12, it says, "When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. 'Do you understand what I have done for you?' he asked them. 'You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them.'" And so what the big deal was is Jesus was, as I said, the teacher, Lord, Rabbi. He was this person that the disciples, at least at this point, held in super high regard, right? Because they had a better picture of who Jesus was. They didn't fully understand yet, but they had a better picture. But he was the one who washed their feet. And now this was a super dirty job, always reserved for servants, usually low totem servants, because you walked around with sandals in the desert, your feet were nasty, right? Imagine washing someone's feet today. And a lot of you probably cringe at that. I know that I do. But back then it was way worse. But Jesus does this. And he doesn't do it just because he wanted to. He does it because he has something he needs to say to the disciples. And the best way to do that is through physically doing this thing. So it was at Passover festival, right? This is what is actually taking place right now with the world around us. But the Jews were celebrating this. And then he got up and he started doing this thing that was totally crazy for him to do. And then he asked them, "Do you understand what I've done for you?" He asked them that because he wants them to know that, yeah, he is teacher, he is Lord, he is God, but he wants to set an example. He wants people to know that it's not about being better than one another, because this is something that the disciples had just been arguing about, who was the best. But instead, the reason that Jesus was here was to teach us to serve others, right? We're going to read just one more little passage, skip pretty far ahead. 31, verse 31, it says, "When he was gone, Jesus said, 'Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son in himself, and he will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and just as I told the Jews, so I tell you now, where I am going, you cannot come. A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another.'" And so like this concept of loving your neighbor, of loving one another, wasn't new to these people, but Jesus says it's a new command I give you. The thing that makes this new is that Jesus says, "As I have loved you, you must love one another." So love was no longer this abstract concept of maybe like giving somebody money or helping them out if things were going wrong. Jesus came and gave us a literal example of what it meant to love one another. It meant doing things like washing each other's feet. It meant doing things like loving your enemies. Jesus made a lot of bold claims about love that were not common back then and are still not common today. Imagine the concept of loving your enemy. We say it a lot, but who actually does that? So I guess for us, our takeaway, our challenge by what Jesus did on this Thursday so many years ago was this challenge of loving each other like Jesus loved us, about serving one another. So today, I know that right now it can be challenging, but maybe look around at your family, look at your friends. Think of one thing you can do today to serve them, to love them. Today, do it now. After this, take some time, pray to God, ask Him to give you the courage to love people, to serve people, and an understanding of this. Read this passage again, but then do it. Do what Jesus said. Show that you love people the way that Jesus loves them.